guys, Erica here from Milestone Mom, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a channel where we discuss child development, special needs, and the early intervention program with a whole lot of community. So we here at Milestone Mom have built a community of moms that are concerned about their child's development or just curious. Or maybe you are a mom that already has a child with special needs. So if that's you, this is the place for you. So make sure you hit subscribe and that notification bell so I can let you know when new videos are coming out. Okay guys, so last week I talked about what a feeding therapist is and what they do in the early intervention program. You can check that video out here. And today we are going to dive deep into what an occupational therapy is and what they do for the early intervention program. So if that's you and you are curious about sensory processing, fine motor skills, then make sure that you stick around. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm so excited that you're here. So, what is an occupational therapist? So an occupational therapist for early intervention looks at a child's fine motor skills. So fine motor is how they're manipulating things. Are they turning puzzle pieces okay? Are they using a neat pincer grasp to pick up objects? Are they able to turn doorknobs? Are they scribbling on things and using good wrist rotation? So a occupational therapist looks at that, but they also look at something called sensory profile. The sensory profile actually looks at a whole lot of different things. So how does your child do with hair brushing, teeth brushing, water over their head, baths? Do they have a high pain tolerance? Are they not sleeping through the night? Does it take them 2 hours to fall asleep at night? Are they constantly touching things? Are they having aversions to certain things that they're touching? So the sensory profile goes into a whole lot of different areas. And one of the reasons that we do this is because we might have a child who is really hyper, or maybe the mom tells us like they're running into things and they have a really high pain tolerance. My child, it lays in bed for 2 hours before they go to sleep, not crying, just laying there. I have a child who I can't take out in public. I can't take them to Walmart or Kroger because they are so sensitive to that. And even getting them in a car is a process, and then getting through Walmart or Kroger or Aldi and then driving back home, like by the time they get back, it's exhausting. And I do have moms that feel isolated, like they don't, maybe their husbands work and they stay home and they just don't do anything, right? They wait to grocery shop and do those kind of things when they have a sitter or when their husband's home. So guys, I get it. You know, that's when we need to call that occupational therapist in to kind of figure out what's going on with your child. Because I know the frustration. I do. I hear it all the time from you guys, and my heart just breaks. Especially when you feel that isolated. So that's one of the reasons I created Milestone Mom. So even if you can't get out and about, heck, we're going to hop on here online and we're going to have community for sure. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to tell you how we're going to do that. Okay. All right. So there's two different types of sensory components that we look at. We're looking to see if your child is hypersensitive. So what that would mean is, do they not like their head touched? Do they not like their hair brushed? Do they not like stuff around their mouth or even their teeth being brushed? Are they really weird about the things that they touch and they feel? Or is your child undersensitive? So bumping into things all the time and they're really rough. They're not being gentle. They don't have a high pain tolerance. Or they do have a high pain tolerance. So when we look at this, we are looking at a child's vestibular system. So when a child has sensory processing disorder, I explain it to parents like this. So imagine your child or you jumping in a bouncy house, and you're just kind of all over the place, right? When normally we feel grounded and we can feel like those painful touches, and it doesn't really bother us if someone touches our hair. I mean, I know some people are weird about that, but for the most part, it doesn't really bother us. But you have a child that's in a bouncy house and just kind of going all over the place. That's what your child's system feels like. And we call that the vestibular system. And so one of the reasons sensory vests and sensory blankets help kids that have sensory processing disorder is because it helps them feel grounded and stable, right? And a lot of times, and it depends on if your child is hypersensitive or undersensitive, but some of those kids, to get them to calm down, like they love those big bear hugs, those pressure hugs. And then some kids can't stand it. So if you have a child that has sensory processing, try those bear hugs on them, or try that deep compression on their wrists. Some kids really like that. And then I've also seen occupational therapists recommend brushing. Kids like that feel on their arm. And then again, some don't. So that's why occupational therapists will come in and just kind of figure out that sensory profile of your child and kind of see where they're at. So what can a occupational therapist do for your child? So like I said in my previous video, we talked about feeding, but oral sensory also came up. So sometimes it's where an occupational would really benefit to come in and talk to you about that sensory or that oral sensory component, because some of our kids do have that aversion to food, the aversion to even picking up a peach and eating it. So if you missed that video, it will be linked right up here. So make sure you go see that. So they can help with oral sensory, and they can help. A lot of times you will hear an occupational therapist throw out sensory diet. Now, a sensory diet really has nothing to do with food at all. But it does have to do with figuring out what is going to help your child. So is it the brushing on the arm? Is it a sensory vest or a sensory blanket to help them sleep? Is it essential oils? Stuff like that. It's basically what it is it's an action plan that provides personalized sensory input. Okay, that your child needs to stay focused, that helps your child stay focused throughout the day. And they're going to come up with different strategies to help you do that. Okay, guys, so that is what an occupational therapist does for the early intervention program, is come in and help with some of those fine motor skills and also that sensory processing piece. Okay. So if you guys like what I'm talking about, if you want to know more about child development, special needs, or the early intervention program, make sure you hit subscribe and also that notification bell. The last Thursday of every month, I go live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram answering your questions. So make sure you leave your questions in the comments. So the next video, I am going to be giving you guys educational gifts for toddlers. And I want to make sure I get you guys some of the toys that I've seen other therapists use in our practice and also myself. So some of my favorite educational toys coming from pediatric developmental therapist that's been doing it for 10 years. You guys want to make sure that you come back and check out that video. I'll have links to the toys, and you can start getting some of your shopping done. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. But remember, I'll see you soon because I'm going to give you those educational gifts for toddlers. Okay? All right, see ya.